Did DJI really create the quietest drone ever? The Mavic Pro Platinum. Let's reduce the drone noise pollution together. Let's check it out. The Mavic Pro Platinum is a slight refresh of the original Mavic Pro that was released in 2016. It's basically the exact same drone with a few notable exceptions. One is the sweet new paint job and stickers. The second notable exception is the quietness of the drone. DJI advertises that they are able to reduce the noise by 8 decimal points. Now, that may not sound like a lot, it doesn't to me. But with the way decibels are calculated in science, math, magic, that's actually a potential 40% reduction in sound. They achieved this by both updating the propeller design and by updating the ESCs controlling the motors. And I don't really know what that means either, but you don't really need to know to enjoy this drone. Third notable update is the battery life. With a new type of battery and the new ESCs and some additional minor internal updates, DJI says you should get around 30 minutes of flight. But just to be sure, we're gonna check that later. So you can go out and read the specs if you want to. I'll leave a link in the description to where you can actually go to purchase this if you really want to, but I want to cover a few of the specs that are really important to me. Number one is the weight. This thing should weigh 1.62 pounds or 732 grams, and that is without the gimbal cover. It can travel up to 40 miles per hour in sport mode without wind. It has a max flight time of 30 minutes with no wind, and that's so you will get better battery life if you're constantly flying as opposed to hovering. And when we do the battery test, it will be hovering, so there will be a little bit less of a battery life in that. Max hovering time is 27 minutes. It has a CMOS sensor with an effective pixel of 12.35 megapixels. The lens has a 78-degree field of view, which is a 35mm format equivalent and f2.2. Its visual recording mode it can do Cinema 4K, that's 4096 by 2160 at 24 frames per second, or it can do the more consumer level 4K of 3840 by 2160 at 24, 25, and 30 frames per second, and it does all of that at 60 megabits per second. It can do JPEGs and DNGs, and it can take video in MP4 and movie film formats. And those are really the most important specs to me. If you want to see more specs, follow the link in the description below. Now that we've covered the specs of the Platinum, let's go out and actually test the two main updates to this drone. Is it quieter, and is the battery life worth it? Let's go. So it's time to do one of two most important tests, and that is, how loud is it really? Let's check. So right up on it, I got about 88 decibels. A couple steps back, it dropped by 20, and a couple steps back, I couldn't pick it up over the background noise. So it's incredibly quiet. Let's compare that to my favorite drone, the DJI Spark. So quite a bit higher on the Spark than on the Mavic. The Spark has more of a high-pitched whine to it that you can hear for farther distances, whereas the Mavic has more of like a low bass that really dissipates as soon as it's just a little bit farther from you. But now the next big test, battery life. So we got a fresh battery, fully charged. We're gonna see how long it lasts. For honesty's sake. I hope the camera can record as long as this is gonna fly. The camera's got a fresh battery in it too, but here's hoping. Okay, here we go. Getting ready to start. All right, see you guys when it's done. I should have brought a book. Like 30 minutes is a long time, so Well, crap. Hindsight 2020. I can't use my phone either because it's plugged into the controller. So let's play around with this camera a bit, I guess. Cheese. Bees, man. Attack of the bees up in here. The bees don't like the Mavic. Right there, that guy. Kind of like, look, you know, I'm hanging out by myself, talking to myself. That's class. Jurassic Park reference. Could have brought a chair. I didn't mean to screw with the test right there. Totally, that's biased. That's biased now. I've totally compromised the results of the test. All right, 10 minutes of solid flight, and we are at 67% battery life. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, so here's my concern. Obviously, since we've been doing this test, those clouds, they look like rain. And I think I've been hearing some thunder. But I don't want to stop the test because it takes forever to charge these batteries, and it took me 30 minutes to drive out here. So do we like sacrifice the Mavic? Let it get rained on to keep the test going? It needs to run out of battery soon, but it's still go. It's like, should have brought a chair, should have brought a book. It needs to run out of battery. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, we just passed 15 minutes and we're at 46% battery life. It is incredibly stable. I mean, you see it's barely budged. That's pretty impressive. And it's windy out here. Okay, we got our first low battery warning at exactly 20 minutes. So it's 20 minutes. If that's in focus, and we're at 30% battery life. Now I'm only gonna let it go down to 10% because I wouldn't fly it anymore past 10%, so see you in just a couple minutes. Okay, 22 minutes, 36 seconds for 20%, 10 more percent left to go. Okay, 10%, whoa. Okay, so 24 minutes, 40 seconds from full battery to 10% battery life. Did you see that? That's the only way I can hand catch it is I have to critically, OB. Okay, that's the only way I can hand catch it is I have to make the battery go critically low. That's awesome though. First ever hand catch of a Mavic. You saw it here first. So what, right? Like, who really cares about all this stuff? Should you get this drone? Honestly, when I first heard about this drone, I thought it was all gimmick. 100% thought that DJI was being lazy, and because they were the kings of the market and they have all the market share, they decided they didn't need to do any extra research or they didn't need to do anything and they could just release a new paint job and charge us $100 more for it. They were gonna trick us into buying the exact same drone again. That is what I 100%, honestly, that's what I thought. I mean, the battery life of 24 minutes, that's not terrible. It's good for a drone, but it's not the 30 minutes that they advertise. That's 6 whole minutes. I mean, that may not sound like a lot, but in drone life, my DJI Sparks battery lasts twice of that, of 6 minutes, 12 minutes. The real revolution of this drone is the noise reduction. It is crazy, and I'm not sure that the microphone and the audio transmitting from me to you really does it justice. Like, I thought it was gonna be a softer, quieter sound, but it's not necessarily a softer sound. It's like a deeper sound. So the drone itself has a deeper quality to the noise, and that noise doesn't transfer as far. We saw that the decibel reduction in even a couple of steps is dramatic. When you have the drone flying like 100 feet away, you can barely tell it's there. And that is really a good thing. And it's not just people trying to be sneaky with drones, but something that I really like drones. I really enjoy flying them. I really like taking pictures with them. I really like seeing what other people can create with drones. But what I don't like about drones is the noise pollution that they cause when I'm going to the beach or I'm going out to a cool place and I hear the bzzz everywhere. I don't like that. And that's why I really, really like the noise reduction on this. So if somebody's doing whatever they want to do, they want to film the lake, or they want to film the beach, or they want to film some cool thing where they're legally allowed to go, this makes it much better for everybody involved. And I really think that this is a huge step forward in that direction. I'm very impressed by what DJI has done with the noise. The battery life, yeah, whatever, but the noise reduction is really good. So should you get this over the Mavic Pro regular? Well, it depends. Again, it depends on all sorts of things. Like my buddy Bill Utah has told me, you can get a refurbished Mavic Pro for $700 some bucks. Not very much. That's almost half of what this costs. Seriously, that's almost half of what this costs. So is it worth it? If you're buying brand new and you have to have a brand new drone, this is worth it. I think this is definitely worth it for the noise reduction. You're gonna make people a lot less angry by the bzzz from wherever you go than if you get this drone. But if you fly in places where you don't really need the noise reduction, there's nobody around, well then just get like a refurbished Mavic, or heck, even get the Spark, because the Spark's amazing. I was able to slide that Spark reference right on in there, no big deal. Well, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. We do Drone Flight Friday every Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Well, hey, I'm the Everyday Dad, and if I can figure out that there's actually more to the Mavic Pro Platinum than just a gimmick, you can figure it out. Thanks for watching.